Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and a brand new video on Marvel Contest of Champions-ish. This is my top 10 resources out of game that you really should consider following and kind of taking note of. I do cover a lot of these aspects of things in Marvel Contest of Champions news, and I probably have talked about these resources in the past, but I think that it's only just that you should go to these sites now and again, just get some like tips and hints that maybe MCC YouTubers do not cover, and you'd prefer instead not listening and watching to us prattle on, but instead reading some information on those sites. So without further ado, let's count these down. First up is social media and the Marvel Contest of Champions Facebook account. But it's not the only Facebook account that's any kind of interest. There's also the Marvel Contest of Champions community page, which has 30,000 plus decent and loyal followers, as well as good kind of like relationships and community based on that one. So the official one, which is the Marvel Contest of Champions one, link obviously for this is in the description, and also the community one, which link is also in the description. But if you don't have Facebook and only have Twitter, then you can follow them on Twitter. The link for this is in the description as well. Next up is mobilesector.net. I've stumbled upon this, I think, is last year, and it comes in shape or forms of different guides for things like Act 5 guides, and as well there's some guides with regards to mastery creation, which I found really intuitive and also incredibly interesting. I don't know if they're going to continue doing stuff with regards to MCC guides in the future, but at the same time there's some great resources and back resources with regards to guides in this particular site, and obviously links to this in the description below. Marvel Contest of Champions website, and this one is kind of referred to as like playcontestchampions.com. The news section can be pretty great because when new champions are released in the spotlight, they also give information about each champion with regards to setup. The developer gives information with regards to mastery setups, as well as like recommendations and, you know, the whole kind of like 9 yards when it comes to information about the champion. Stuff that, you know, you wouldn't consider that they would give out information wise, but they do, which is great. Next up is MBCH. Now this is one of the best resources in the game when it comes to information. So the first thing that's great about it is arena cutoff. So kind of like arena history of like what was a previous cutoff is truly amazing. And I've even begun using some of the information from this site with regards to giving people instructions of like how certain champions previously have gone for when it comes to being then put into the basic arena. But it doesn't stop there. There's information on masteries, right the way through to rumored champions, alliance wars information, and anything you want. Even though it's kind of in a Russian language, you can change it to be in English. Oh, and before I forget, the best thing is dual skirmish targets. So that's really helpful for people who want to like train against certain champions, at the same time want to do stuff for the event. It's quite good as well for alliance leaders to then point to your alliance. It's there. Obviously it is covered on some things like Marvel Contest Champions True Course, also Matamat stuff, as well as we've got the concierge, and there's so many different things with regards to like information for that. But at the same time, if you don't want to use them or can't use them, then there is this other option. Next up is marvelsynergy.com. I really do like this site. The great thing about it is you can select different champions. The site's really easy to use. All you need to do is click on the champion you want and then scroll down to the information. And then what you can do is then create your synergy teams around the information that we can see here. But it doesn't stop there. If you go to synergy bonus, which is just at the bottom here, and then scroll down, you get a list alphabetized, all the information about the various champions, and as well just strictly on the synergy itself. Rather than it being about the champion, it's all about the synergy. And this gives a great insight with regards to certain champions that work well with certain things. So obviously the enemy synergy there, as you can see, is worked out like that. And obviously as it goes and kind of it continues, they keep this site completely up to date with new champions being put in, and I think it's an absolutely great resource. That's why I started the series Synergy Bro, in order to kind of like talk about this kind of great site, but at the same time synergies and the way you can use them. Next up is the forum, and the reason that I've put this in here is because I think that it does separate itself from the website. The forum becomes a place where people can share their kind of experiences, opinions, and at the same time the developer gets to interact with the player. I do work Marvel Contest of Champions news around a lot of information from here, because it does diversify with regards to a conversation discussion point, as well as updates from the developer. And people have questions here that maybe they wouldn't be able to put in other places. Okay, next up is Reddit, and this is the Contest of Champions page It is really built by the fandom with regards to information, and it's a great talking point with regards to guides. There's so many things with regards to experience, and a lot of kind of devoted, passionate fans do exist on this platform. The forum and Reddit do, you know, they're kind of similar, except for the developers are more active on the forum than they are with regards to Reddit. I'm not sure, I don't think there's anybody from the developing team that does communicate with regards to people on the Reddit, but still it's a great place for interaction and also new information, and kind of a great kind of like discussion point on there. Next up is Marvel Contest of Champions Trucos. This is a great Facebook page managed by a great person, and the fact is it's passion and it has like a huge following. Great for the Spanish community, great for the English community, and a whole kind of like worldwide community of players. It gives information. There's also like guide links. There's so many kind of different things with regards to this, and it's very kind of like quick to hand, and it's like very on point. Anything that's a new development does get on this fairly swiftly. Next up is YouTube. On YouTube, you can find a great amount of guides in a visual sense. Some people will opt for kind of having more of a kind of a written thing so they can see it, but at the same time, some people may want to see something in action and maybe someone talking it through. So obviously there's loads of different Marvel Contest of Champions YouTubers on there. Just put Marvel Contest of Champions into YouTube and you'll get something there. Obviously be specific on what you want, and then obviously you will get back that with regards to response. And finally, Line. Line has been a kind of a great app for kind of putting on some kind of micro resources. So you've got the MCC info bot, you've also got the MCOC concierge, two kind of great resources with regards to information that's coming on at the moment, and it's very quick to hand, so you can have it in your phone, kind of flip it open and go, oh right, okay, I believe that we've got the alpha arena starting soon, we've got the dual targets, we've also got information when it comes to the forum. So that is one great resource. So it's great to have this information very quick to hand. It means that I can then obviously get on with playing, and at the same time just kind of flick on here and kind of see what is kind of happening news wise. And following on from that, ClanHQ obviously are doing a lot of improvements with regards to the app since December of last year. The info bot's on it, Trucos is on it, and obviously it's going to be a case that they're going to be promoting this in future, so do look out for that. ClanHQ will look to be a little bit similar to the lineup, but at the same time kind of following their own scheme of things and integrating a lot of the stuff that we've talked about with regards to resources into one, but I'll talk about that at a later date. Either way, thanks very much for watching this video of the top 10 resources out of Marvel Contest of Champions that are really good for the community. Obviously, make sure that you go to those links with stuff that maybe you found interesting. A lot of the stuff is integrated into stuff with regards to MCC news that I do, so do keep locked into the channel. Like, subscribe, and as always, I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye for now.